A nigga like me, man, I love the game. Be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know? Like Bird, Magic, or something. Yeah, you know, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man?
I'll go right.
So with this new look group this season, we're kind of trying to figure out what's going on with them. What are their habits? What are their tendencies? And it was very noticeable in the matchup against Cleveland in the third quarter, the way the Knicks gave up so many paint points, that there might be an issue here. And those problems continue to plague us on this road trip. The lack of rim protection kind of had a trickle-down effect because you've seen it correlate to the defensive rebounding and also the way we gave up so many second chance points. And a lot of the younger players, look at Şengün just straight styling on us on this road trip. Now in Atlanta, we see Cat in a drop back coverage, just getting in Trae Young's way as Bridges try to make his recovery. But I don't know if he's afraid of the alley pass right here. And he might not still be in a good position to even defend it, but Trae Young just walks in here. Wow. Not even contested. Again, right here, check out this pass from Trae Young. Wow. And Cat, once again, he's not good vertically recovering and swiping that block. Let's take a look at that one more time, coming off a double screen. Man, the fact that pass even got through there is crazy. But Towns right here, just on his recovery to protect the rim. This is not his bag. He could protect the rim with more of the back to the basket guys, like Joel Embiid when he's posting, or Jokic. Towns could really contest, but just getting back vertically, that's not his bag. Yeah, Tibbs is going to have a long season to figure this out. Here's almost a rare sighting of him kind of getting a position to swipe down on a shot. It's going to be rare we're going to see him block shots like that. He's more of a center that could defend guys who have their back to the basket, like Jokic at times, and Rudy Gobert if he's trying to post Towns up. Towns could defend those guys like that. But guys just vertically going up, it's never shown to be his thing. Again, just looking at this one more time, notice how he's backpedaling. He steps back and he steps forward and gets that swipe. That kind of contested season so far, we just seen defenders go right through that. Trae Young is actually a lot smaller, but guys normally 6'5 plus, they've been making their mid-air adjustments and going right through that. Here's another play that shows Towns' blocking ability. You see right here, after Johnson pump fakes, Towns at this exact moment, he's good at blocking guys like this, but not necessarily on the recovery. Again, here's another look at Towns trying to protect the rim vertically. Zachary, and that French kid got around him a little bit way too easy. And ironically, it's amazing how this kid actually went off, because this year's draft class, they're struggling really. I mean, I've never remember seeing a first overall pick just come off the bench in the first 2 games. And a lot of these lottery guys this season, they actually got DMPs in the first few games. That's how rough it's been. And for this kid to not even get anywhere near 30 minutes a game and even average even 15 points a game or even double digits, but for him to get 33 points in this game, it kind of said a lot. And there's going to be a lot of work to be done. Now check out Şengün going one-on-one with OG. He's going to beat him off the dribble. Towns low man to protect the rim. Look at Şengün go right through him. It wouldn't shock me if Tibbs this season ends up going sort of the similar route that the Minnesota Timberwolves had went with Rudy Gobert and Towns, kind of playing 2 bigs at the same time. That's why we're waiting Mitchell Robinson to make his return and see what are the moves that are going to be made. And also, how far can they progress Ariel Haporti to be inserted in this lineup? I mean, hopefully he can provide some sort of rim protection, but we might be forced to play 2 bigs and end up working out for Minnesota. They finished a top defense last season. With the rim protection, it's just not Karl Anthony Towns. I don't want to make it seem like it's just him. Check out Reed Shepherd right here. Another rookie. This is a 3rd overall pick. Had a great summer league, and he's coming off the bench. Once again, this draft class is very interesting. These guys are barely getting minutes, these lottery picks, and this is a very unique league right now. But yeah, check out the rim protection right here. There's 3 guys on him. No contest, and he gets a layup over 3 guys surrounding him. There's a lot left to be answered. See right here, what do the Knicks do when they're dealing with a good post player like Şengün? What adjustments do they make? Towns is the low man. He's kind of looking at Smith Jr. He's guarding him. They got Brunson on Brooks because he can't really shoot. But what adjustments do they make here? Because Şengün is just dominating in the post. So teams that have post players like this, what happens when the Knicks meet Jokic? Denver might as well just go to the post game because the Knicks don't really have an answer for it as they've shown in this game. Once again, same scenario playing out. The game is tight. Going down the stretch. 1-on-1 with Şengün and OG. Towns is the low man. OG gets beat, but look at Towns. No reaction. Let's look at that again. Look at Towns. There's just no reaction. Towns kind of struggles at times having his eyes on his man and the ball at the same time. I've always noticed that about him since he's been in Minnesota. Funny enough, Walt Frazier always refers to that when he's actually asked about the game itself, especially on defense. He consistently makes that reference. Here's an example of when the defensive chemistry is done right between OG and Towns. Towns way out here with Jabari Smith Jr. And pay attention to OG. Let's check that out one more time. One thing I want you to notice is Josh Hart. He does the same thing on the other side. See? Notice he doesn't follow Brooks. He stays off of him. Brooks is a horrible shooter. I don't know, for some reason in this game, he was knocking down threes. There was a whole lot of flukiness to this game. Even Jalen Green with that crazy step back in the 4th quarter over 2 guys. Very unusual game. Here's another example right here. 3rd quarter winding down. Look how open the paint is. And then look at OG this whole time. He is putting in work. Just contesting that so he could miss that dunk. But they get the putback. But at the end of the day, OG was on his P's and Q's defensively right there. But there's a lot we got to do to protect the rim this season because things are just way too wide open down there. And just even off these rebounds right here, this is a trickle down issue of us just grabbing these defensive boards. Too many second chance opportunities. So the Knicks right here are in between rotations, and the Rockets have Steven Adams out here, real center. The defensive glass continues to be an issue for us. He barely jumped right there. Look at OG got knocked down to the ground. Steven Adams is strong as fuck. This guy's a real center, but once again, with Towns sitting out and even with him in the game, the defensive rebounding seems to be an issue. By the way, check out how strong Steven Adams is. OG goes right to his chest and barely moves him. Sheesh. So even with Cat on the floor, we're going to see him not be able to gain full position on that box out. And Şengün catches the offensive rebound. And once again, Houston gets more second chance points. So even though Towns does have a size of a center, he does play more like a power forward. But Şengün is a traditional power forward / center, the way he plays, and he has a good base underneath him. He has good foundation, strong legs, and he plays more like a traditional big. So it is creating a lot of issues for us at the moment. So the Knicks kind of being short-handed and Tibbs going through this bench unit. Towns right here, he contests his shot, and it's Kolek, McBride, and now you got Josh Hart and Bridges, who really hasn't gotten a lot of rebounds this season thus far. And Eaton right here, 6'8". This is a 40. He's going to notice it right away and go right in there and take full advantage. Once again, more second chance points for the Rockets. But things are getting tight with that bench unit. And anytime Cat just contests anything in the perimeter, it leaves us exposed on the defensive glass. Some more defensive rebounding issues right here. Check out Karl Anthony Towns. This is the rookie right here, Zachary. No box out. But a play like that is fixable. Simple box out, more attention to details. Those things could alleviate this issue. This time around, we're going to see what happens when Cat is actually the one contesting who's left over to protect the defensive glass. These are the issues that continue to plague us, especially on the part of the road trip that was in Houston and in Atlanta.